What's up, people? Today we're going to look into how to put together your own full body training program for muscle gain. I'm David Mirza. I'm a body transformation specialist working in central London, and I help people worldwide get in the best shape of their lives. If you don't want to listen to me explain how to put together a full body training program, then you can just click in the description below and find one that I put together as a guide. Today's video came as a request under my previous video in the comment section from someone, so if there's anything else you would like to know, or if you want to give me ideas for my next topic, just let me know in the comment section again. Now, everything I say here will be in regards to muscle building and getting in the best shape of your life. If you just want to go for pure strength, then this is not the guide for you. Training full body will mean that you train both your upper body and your lower body in the same session. Now, this will automatically mean that your frequency will be anywhere between 3 to 4 sessions per week. With 2 sessions a week, you may find that you aren't able to make enough progress, whereas going 5-6 times a week doing full body, you will find that it's harder for you to recover. So the sweet spot will really be around 3 to 4 times per week. Now that we have that in the books, we just have to decide how many sets we want to do per body part in each week. Now you have to appreciate that the number of sets you can do in a week will mainly be determined by your ability to recover. If you manage your recovery well, if you sleep properly, if your nutrition is on point, if you manage stress in your life, you will find that you can do more sets, more work in a week and still recover and make better progress therefore. Initially, I would start anywhere between 10 to 12 sets per muscle group per week. And this may sound a little too low for you, but there are 2 things to consider. The first one being movement quality. If you move well, if you push hard, if you're able to target the same muscle groups, you can perform fewer sets per week. And the second one is that you can always increase your sets later. If you're not making enough progress and if you feel like you're recovering really well, after 10 to 12 sets per muscle group per week, you're always welcome to just increase your sets afterwards. Whereas going the other way around, starting on too high sets, burning out, not making enough progress, might cost you more time. Now, the greatest advantage of a full body training program is frequency. So if you do the math and you aim for 10 to 12 sets in a week and you go to the gym 3 to 4 times, you will find that you will do 3 to 4 sets per muscle group every time you go to the gym. You're not there to kill yourself completely and spend 20 minutes just training chest. Your biggest advantage is going to the gym more often and hitting the same muscle more frequently throughout the week. You also need to consider that there will be overlap in what muscles certain movements target. So you don't need to do 3 sets for tricep, 3 sets for chest, 3 sets for shoulders, because one pressing movement can take care of all these 3 at the same time. Same for pulling. Any pulling movement will include some rear delts, some biceps, and some back at the same time. I don't want to go too deep into the repetition question. You will find that if you perform less than 6 reps in a set, it will be hard for you to accumulate any work. Whereas if you go higher than about 15 reps per set, you will have to use a weight that is not challenging enough to produce any change. So therefore your sweet spot for rep range would be between 6 and 15 reps, and I would perform the majority of the sets in this rep range. Now, if you consider that you want to do anywhere between 10 to 12 sets per week, you go to the gym 3 to 4 times and there's some overlap between the exercises, you will find that you don't really need more than 6, 7, maybe 8 exercises per session. You will find that for maximum efficiency, this will probably be an upper body pushing movement, an upper body pulling movement, lower body push, lower body pull, and anything else that you want to maybe focus on a bit more, such as shoulders, abs, maybe arms. Now with the more boring and maybe more complicated part out of the way, we can start focusing on exercise selection. Regarding the exercises selected, I want you to focus on 3 things. Do something you enjoy. The more you like your program, the more likely you will be to stick to it. It has to be pain-free and safe. There is no magic exercise. There's nothing you necessarily have to do. So if something causes any kind of discomfort, you're better off swapping it out. And ideally, you're better off picking exercises that you can feel in the muscle you're trying to work. If you're doing barbell bench press and all you can feel is the front of your shoulders, you get no chest at all, and you're trying to grow your chest, then that's not the right exercise for you. So pick exercises that are suited for you, ideally exercises that you can feel in the target muscle. We also want a healthy balance between compound and isolation exercises. Compound exercises are where multiple joints are moving at the same time and therefore more muscle groups are contributing to the movement. An example would be any kind of press, chest press, machine, bar, will include your chest, shoulder, and your tricep, whereas an isolation exercise would be a cable fly, where it will only be your chest working. Initially, as a beginner, I recommend aiming for 70–80% of your exercises being compound movements. And now on to exercise order. You will find that certain exercises take more out of you. They're just harder to coordinate. These exercises are probably preferred in the beginning of your session. If you have both free weight and machine-based exercises in your program, you're also better off starting with the free weight because these require more control. When you're working on a machine, it provides external stability, it's harder for things to go wrong, and you can work harder on them even if they are in the end of your session. Last thing to consider here is that maybe you want to focus on a certain muscle group, so keeping it at the beginning of the session allows you to push harder because you're fresher. So now you know how many times to go to the gym, how many sets to perform per week, what exercises to do, and in what order. So how long will you want to keep up with this regime? A lot of people love making changes to their program, and that's exactly why they don't make any progress. If you keep program hopping, if you always change things up instead of getting strong on selected movements and building muscle, you will never make progress. So therefore I recommend staying on a program pretty much as long as you can. The determining factors being how bored you are. So if it's been a few weeks and you start falling out of love with your training program, maybe it's time for a change. And whether you are still making progress or not. If your progress is stalling and you take a week off and it's still not progressing, then maybe it's time to change the program. If you're making super good progress, then it would be a waste to change the program. Now I really hope this was helpful. In the description you can find a link to an example full body training program that I wrote, and that could be a good starting point for you as well. If you want to work with me personally and lose 10 to 15 kilos in 90 days and get in the best shape of your life, you will also find a link to apply in the description. Alright, thank you very much for watching. David and Bonaparte out.